Hey everyone, let me ask you a question. Do you know a veteran that has been suffering from PTSD? Do you know anyone who has experienced the pain of coming back from service and not being themselves? Well, today's show on the Audacious Confidence show, my guest, we're going to talk about the things that they're doing to help veterans and give them the tools and the resources so that they don't have to suffer in silence. I am your host, Alicia Couri. This is the Audacious Confidence Show. I am the Red Carpet CEO, and I'm here to influence, educate, inspire, and entertain you so you can step into your own audacious confidence and be more, do more, have more, live the life of your dreams without limits. And tonight's show, I have one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. She is an influencer here on Dramaniac TV. She's been a guest on several of our shows. We love having her here, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about her. She is a great friend of mine, Miss CeCe Espeut. I've met CeCe at a conference. She's a photographer, an exquisite photographer, and we started a friendship. I was doing hair and makeup. She was doing photography. It was a match made in heaven. You know, we did weddings. We did all kinds of stuff together. And I've seen her evolution. I've seen her go. She's still an amazing photographer. In fact, if you look at any of my photos from winning my crown or being crowned and all of that, she took those pictures. She's amazing. So she went from I just knew her as a photographer. She became an author, then speaker, then TEDx speaker. Like, if you know, she took it to another level, and now she's doing some really phenomenal things for veterans. She was doing some really great things for ex-offenders, and I just want to bring her up. She's always evolving and growing. And my friend CeCe Espeut, please come up and join me here on the show. Hello, love. You know, we're going to have a lot of fun anytime you're here. Your laugh and your smile just lights up everywhere.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you for having me here on the show.
Listen, this is a get. Let me tell you guys, this is a get because she is between trips. She came in last night. She's leaving super early in the morning. And I asked her if she can be on the show. She's like, well, that's the only day I'm actually going to be home. So yeah, you got me. So I am so thrilled that she was able to squeeze us in that little space of time. So, first and foremost, I want to talk about you being a photographer, because this show is the Audacious Confidence show. Recently, you had eye surgery. And as a photographer, how was that?
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I had surgery on both of my eyes. This one in December and this one just 2 weeks ago. So I'm feeling a little self-conscious, not wearing any makeup, just have on a touch of lipstick. And I'm like, oh,
you're beautiful anyway, so.
Yeah.
But I know you were having some challenges with your eyes, because we talked about that, and you were so kind. You gave me some eye drops and stuff. But what was happening with your eyes? And then what was the degeneration that led you to having surgery?
Okay. So I went in for my annual physical back in November, and they said, wow, you have cataracts. And I was like, no, I can't have cataracts. I'm a photographer.
That doesn't happen to photographers.
Right. Yeah. But then they actually took the pictures and they showed me the cataracts. And what I realized was that in me being a photographer, I was tapping into the zone. And that's how I was taking pictures. Not necessarily that I could see with my eyes, but that I was seeing with my soul.
Oh, yeah.
And I figured I better just come back and just get my eyes taken care of. So it was, I didn't tell anybody. I think you were the only one I told. And I had one eye done and just stayed off of social media.
Yeah.
Didn't see anybody, and then had the second one done 2 weeks ago.
Because I remember you were saying you were getting your eyes done. You were getting your eye done because I had won the crown, and I said, I need pictures. I need some pictures. You're like, you better come quick because I'm having eye surgery soon. They're getting pictures of you. I was like, ah! So yeah, I am so grateful for you for doing that for me. I really, really am. So now your eyes are great. They're all fixed and all wonderful.
They're fixed. I still can't do anything until about the middle of March as far as makeup or anything like that goes. And the doctor just wants me to take it easy, you know, no heavy photography, not a lot of computer use. And so,
Right.
yeah.
Rest.
Right.
Well, that's great. There were some other changes that happened to you too since last you were here as well. Not just the hair and the eyes, but some other something was going on. What is that?
So after I did my TEDx and I saw myself, I was like, wow, that chick's a lot of fun because she was just round.
But we don't see ourselves sometimes, you know.
Right.
You see yourself on film.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Right.
So you started a journey to release some weight as well. And when did you start that?
Probably about February of last year. So just about a year ago.
A year ago. And now since then you have dropped?
About 25 pounds.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you. But more so inches, you know?
Yes.
It's funny. There was no space between my elbow and my waist before. So now I got a little, you know.
A little indentation happening. Yeah. Yes, because you stood up just now to fix the light. And I said, ooh, I see space on the sides there. But it's really great because, you know, we see it in your face, we see it in your neck. We also see it, you know, that your stomach is flat, you feel really great. So what has that done for your confidence now?
It's really given me a lot of self-confidence just to get out there and speak more, to do things more. I'm doing a lot more outdoor activities. And so that it's really great. Really.
Yeah. And I'm sure you need that extra energy for all those outdoor activities you're doing that we're going to get to in a moment.
Right.
Yeah. So that is wonderful because, you know, sometimes too, we're kind of in a rut and we're kind of settled in where we are and how we are. Sebastian says room for more joy on YouTube. So we're just we get settled. You know, it's not that you're not confident because you are one confident lady. Yeah, I mean, let me tell you, you are. But we get settled in how we are. And it's until we open our eyes to something and we see ourselves in a different way and we decide to make a change. And then that nickel drops and you start making the change. And then you realize, oh, wow, there was another level.
Right.
There's a whole other level. And before the show, we were talking about how my media coach had said that I was at least, I think, 10 or 15 pounds heavier than I am now. Yeah, probably, around there. And he was telling me, I started going on media, I started going on TV, and I'd wear these sleeveless dresses and stuff. And he'd say, listen, if you want to be wearing those armless dresses, you need to have Michelle Obama arms, not what you got going on there. And I was like, oh, how dare you? Oh, Sebastian on Facebook, he's jumping around. He says, I'm just so excited to see CeCe back. Looking great and full of energy as always. Yes, she is.
All right. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you. So
it's really important for us to take care of ourselves and take care of our health and really strive to be our best. And so I am so excited that you're taking this journey. How did you do it?
I did the keto diet, and that's it. I just realized that for my body, I needed to cut the carbs and the sugar, you know, and then I kind of pushed the envelope a little bit, trying to do a vegetarian, vegan, implement that into it. Still working on that part. But definitely the sugar and the carbs. Yeah, I can do with
Sugar,
that.
yeah, sugar is not your friend.
Right.
Sugar is not your friend.
Right.
So I really I'm so excited for you, and I'm so excited that you're taking your health seriously, because you are doing some really phenomenal work, and we need you around for a long time doing all these things. Plus, the work that you're doing right now is very strenuous. You got a lot going on. There's a lot to do, and so sometimes having that extra weight, carrying it around, can be a little bit challenging, right?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So,
So
sorry, go ahead.
I'm working on this new venture with just hiking and doing a lot of physical activities. And sometimes, if you're not the last person in the lineup, then everybody gets to see your back. And so I'm like, okay, we need to just, that was one of the reasons to drop the weight. Also, it was just like, yeah,
Yeah,
back there. So
you don't want everybody seeing all of it. That is so funny. I know. Listen, the things that go through our heads, the things that go through our minds that make us do the things that we do. It's like, I want to be in the back of the pack so nobody's looking at me from back there. Because, yep. So since we started talking about this, let's just segue into that right now. So if you're now joining us, you're watching the Audacious Confidence show here on Dramaniac TV. I am your host, Alicia Couri, the Red Carpet CEO. And my guest tonight is one of our premium influencer guests, CeCe Espeut. She is a photographer, a TEDx speaker. She is also an author. She works with ex-offenders, being one herself, having done the work to restore her own rights, your own rights.
Correct.
And helping others do the same. And now she has started working with veterans. She is also a veteran. And so this is a full circle moment for CeCe. And so in this next segment, we're going to talk about the work that she's doing and why it's so important and why it's so valuable. And the reason I say it's a full circle moment for her is because when you left the military, when you left the military, you didn't leave on the greatest of terms. Correct. And now you get to come back and really help these heroes. Right. So talk about your journey with the military.
All right. So my story is that I wasn't asked to leave, but I kind of had to leave. I had gotten in some trouble and made some bad decisions and ended up spending 2 years in prison. A year of that was in solitary confinement. When I was leaving, I decided that I was never going back to prison and started the journey on how I could get my civil rights restored. And I ended up getting a pardon. And there it was. And people started asking me how could they do it. And I started showing them. Eventually, I wrote a book about it. I did the TEDx speech about it. And here I am.
Yeah. And now you're working with veterans. How did that come about? Because you're a photographer.
Right.
So how did you end up working with vets?
So there was a very good friend of mine, two very good friends of mine, Ray Martin and Sherry Rudolph, who put together a program for veterans doing ecotherapy, and they needed a photographer. And so they asked me to come on staff as a photographer. And this is really, really funny because they had two photographers on the team. And the other photographer is just like amazing and actually blew me away. And I was like, okay, I better take a back seat.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, her name is Kristen Branch, and she's absolutely wonderful. And so once Ray and Sherry realized that I had done the TEDx talk and what it was about, they asked me to bring in that piece of the puzzle.
Nice. So you're also helping them understand more about speaking?
Right. What we really do is, a lot of times veterans suffering with PTSD, they have a lot of regret for things that they might have done, the situations they were in. And so the piece I bring to it is to show them how they can find their voice and reach
Mm.
their future.
Wow, that's excellent. So we're going to talk about PTSD. So tell everyone what PTSD is, how does it manifest, and then we'll go into how, what these services are doing.
Right. So PTSD is post-traumatic syndrome disorder. Stress disorder, right? And it shows up in different people in different ways. Now, years ago, we used to call it shell-shocked or battle fatigue or something like that. But they've come to realize it's things like isolation, not wanting to be around people, not liking certain noises, anxiety, having trouble maintaining a relationship. Mm-hmm. So it shows up in different people in different ways.
Right. And because of this growing, it's almost like epidemic of PTSD for military coming back, the suicide rate is very high.
Extremely high. I looked it up today, and they were saying that in 2013, they did a survey, and a veteran commits suicide every 65 minutes.
Wow.
Which means 22 veterans across the United States every day commit suicide because their PTSD is not understood.
Right. And they feel hopeless. Mm-hmm. And that is astounding. Mm-hmm. That, they have to come back and deal with this. And so now with ecotherapy, not me saying ecotherapy, ecotherapy. Now with ecotherapy, what is the brainchild, or what is the idea behind ecotherapy?
So the brainchild is that Ray and Sherry came up with this idea, is that if we take the veterans out of their environment and give them the coping skills, that when they are triggered, that they can do something about it. So we'll take them hiking. And the thing about hiking is if you have to be very mindful about what you're doing, one foot in front of the other, what's the next thing you need to do? And so you can't be like, what am I buying at the grocery store tomorrow? Or I need to do laundry, or your to-do list. So
you can't have multiple thoughts going on in your mind.
Correct.
Yeah. So these hiking, and where are you hiking? Where are you going?
Oh, we're going all across the United States, national parks. I am going to places that were only on my bucket list. So yeah.
Oh, awesome. So Sebastian on Facebook, he's saying that suicide is a pandemic that needs to be talked about. Thank you for raising this. People who serve us need to be given more mental wellness care. Correct. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. There are so many things that they see and experience in the battle. Yes. Yeah, no echo. That they experience in combat that we would never understand. Correct. And even someone who is with you with a different mental capacity experiences it in a different way.
Correct.
So being able to go to all these beautiful, so you're going to I've seen some of the pictures, you're going to all these breathtaking vistas, all these great locations. And hi tech mother just woke up with the whoopee lady. Yay. So they're going to all these locations and taking veterans. What has that experience has been like for you as a vet?
It's really helped me to reconnect with who I was when I first joined the military. And we have this joke now that we are the tribe, the 4% tribe. And in my TEDx talk, I talk about the 96% and the 4%. And one of the veterans just came up with us this idea like, oh, we're the 4%, we're the tribe that succeeds. And when you have the tools, you can deal with anything. And so whether it's PTSD or maybe just getting a divorce or drug addiction or a failed business, what do you do to stay out of that revolving door that keeps on taking you back? So in prison talk, we call that recidivism. The same thing kind of applies for regular people. We all know people who have been divorced several times.
Yeah.
Or had several failed businesses or addiction runs in their family or something like that. So the idea is that if you can make it into the top 4% in your, whatever your trauma is, whatever you're dealing with, then
you're yes.
Yeah, right.
You're going to not just survive, but also thrive.
Right.
Talk to Me movement on YouTube is saying, thank you for raising awareness about suicide in veterans. We're grateful to you, CeCe. Absolutely. So the Extreme Government Solutions is the program. And this is available to veterans. So if you're a veteran or a veteran, how can they take advantage of these opportunities?
So they must go to their, excuse me, they must go to their vet center. Now the vet center is totally separate from the VA. If you go to the vet center and you get help, counseling, they can refer you to these programs, which are totally free to the veteran.
That's excellent. And every state, every city has their own vet center.
There are about 170 across the U.S.
Okay, so you have to look it up. Look up to see where the closest vet center is to you, because they have these available and they are, again, free for you as a veteran to take advantage of. So tell me some of the places you've been to.
Oh my goodness. So I went kayaking at night in the ocean in Puerto Rico.
Oh my God, kayaking at night in the ocean. It's pitch black.
Pitch black. Like can't see a foot in front of you. And so you're just really using all of your senses.
Your instincts.
Your instincts, yes. A lot of teamwork because it's two of you in the kayak and you have to be in sync. So yes.
To depend on one another.
Right. Or it will tip over. It will tip over.
So how many of you were on that excursion?
Oh, you know what? I don't even remember. I was just concerned about myself. I'm the other person in the kayak with.
Like, we gotta stay alive. Well, how did you know where you were going?
There were lights on the front of the kayak, so it wasn't pitch black, but
still, how do you know where you're going?
Hey, if you hit something, you're going the wrong place.
So were you going from a beach to another beach, or you were just out there in the middle of nowhere?
So what we actually did, we started off in the ocean.
So they dropped you off from a boat into the kayak?
No. So we drove up and then we got into the kayaks in the ocean. And then we went through a lagoon, I think you call it, with all the mangroves.
Yeah.
And so then we kind of went through that. And, the mangroves are low. Had to bend down.
Alligators in the water.
Totally crazy. But
I'm panicking even just thinking about it. How does this help PTSD?
You have to be mindful. You have to be present. Okay.
Oh gosh. Yes, you have to be very present, very mindful about what you're doing because you don't want to tip over.
Right. That was the main thing. Do not tip over. you know. And even if you did tip over, you're in probably like 2 or 3 feet of water.
Right.
The idea is like, who wants to tip over?
Nobody wants to tip over. Oh my gosh. Well, that is an extreme solution right there.
Right.
And, but I've seen you drop good luck. We see you in an hour if you're still not eaten up. Exactly. Exactly, Sebastian. But you've been in the like climbing in, is it Arizona?
So my favorite thing that I did was they told me we were going to go mountaineering in Utah.
Oh yeah, it was Utah.
I thought they were making that up. I had never heard the term mountaineering, but we actually climbed through the slot canyons in Utah, and it was, oh my goodness, it was unbelievable. And horseback riding, mountaineering. We did a vertical
base, like climb.
Right, we did that, and that was in Arizona, in Tucson. And before that, we were in a hot air balloon in Albuquerque.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah, right.
How was that?
Unbelievable.
I'm petrified of hot air balloons.
There is absolutely no need to be. Absolutely no need to be. And so when we're on these trips and you're doing these things that never in a million years would you do on your own or like with your girlfriend, but because we're veterans and there's a lot of smack talking between the branches.
Of course.
Well, and I'm one of the shortest ones on the team. I'm always the shortest one. So if I'm doing it, right, with the biggest mouth. So if I'm doing it, then one of the other guys that's taller, he's like, no, you can't beat me, CeCe. I'm going to do it too.
Right.
So there's a lot of camaraderie, but also support.
Absolutely.
And so that's how we get through these experiences. And so at the end, what we do is we bring it around and we show them that, hey, just like how you needed support and you got it doing these things, it's the same way if you feel like you're going to be triggered and having a PTSD episode, that you can reach out and you can ask your tribe for help.
Yeah.
Right? So
you're building a team of support outside of that. Hey, Ryan's tuning in from Sebastian.com. A team of support so that when you're also giving them the tools, the mindfulness tools and all those things, so that when something happens, they have someone to reach out to and they don't have to feel alone. Because that's one of the things that people turn to suicide because they feel alone. They feel like they're the only ones going through this. Do you have times like a drum circle or something at times where you do share?
Oh, yes. And it's whatever is said stays right there, and there's no judgment. There's no judgment. And that's how we kind of start off the sessions with my TEDx talk. And I let people know, like, hey, I made a mistake. I went to prison for drug conspiracy. And so there's no judgment here. There's no judgment. So whatever you might have done is in the past, and that you can go forward and use your voice to shape your life. Right.
Look where TEDx got you. Got you mountaineering. Standing on the red dot got you mountaineering.
Right.
It's so cool. It's super cool that they have these opportunities and then they take you on these opportunities, but then bring it back to the lessons learned, so that you can not just have a great experience, but understand the strength that it took for you to do that, the strength, the courage, the commitment to one another, and how you were able to develop that and take it into your everyday life. I love that. That's beautiful. Take it into your everyday life so that you can you know, when you start feeling triggered, like you said, look back at those tools and
Right.
keep it keep it real, keep it mindful, keep it in the moment.
Right.
Sebastian says, "What's with me and short ladies?" I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. And so this is helping. This is helping. Oh, Parker is saying, "I wish they would let you show these videos of CeCe in the prison because kids like your brother can be so inspired." Yeah, you know, and she was in solitary confinement, so she, you know what? You can go to her TEDx talk. Go to YouTube and check out her TEDx talk, and she talks all about, you know, shaking her head, attitude. Ended up in solitary confinement with that attitude. But what I'm saying is, it's programs like these are so important for our veterans to take advantage of, because you need the tools. You need something when you come back. And I think it's just fantastic. And I love that you're a part of this, because I'm sure you bring the humor, you bring, you know, the laughter, your smile lights up the room, and that you I get what you're saying now, Parker. You're saying, you mean that they would let August's brother in prison to see CeCe's video for inspiration. Okay, so his brother's in prison, and you hope that they could show these videos so that people could know that there is life after after you've made a mistake.
Right.
You've honestly made a mistake. You paid your price for it. There's opportunity for redemption, you know, in a lot of different ways. And you are proving that in several different ways, you know, helping veterans, helping ex-offenders, you know, you are really stepping out. And as a photographer, did you ever think, when you first got out and you started your business as a photographer, that these would be the things that you'd be doing?
Never, never, never. I just wanted to make money, and my whole goal was stay out of prison. Whatever I have to do not to go back.
Right.
And that was the reason I started my own business. You know?
Exactly. That's why you started. You're like, people were paying me for this? They're paying me to take pictures? Oh my gosh, I could do this.
So, you know, the reason, the way I started my business, I came home and I was working at a local breakfast franchise. They were paying me $2.15 an hour plus tips.
Yeah.
And one of the other waitresses was getting married, and she came to me and she was so humble. She said, "CeCe, I only have $500. Would you be my wedding photographer?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know, that's a lot more than $2.15 an hour." So I took $50 of that money and went and got my business license, and
You invested it back into your business.
right,
Never became a photographer, and no looking back.
No looking back.
Amazing. Parker said that that August did contact you about his brother and got in touch with you to talk to you about his brother. So
Okay,
that's great. So when you're doing these excursions, again, this is about yeah, it's not a fun idea, high tech mother, not at all.
Yeah.
So it's about focus. It's about, what is the next step I need to take?
Right.
So these are the tools that you're learning: how to focus, how to be present, how to be mindful. What is the next step I need to take? And then what is the next right step that does not get me injured, does not get me hurt? She said, "I have been to prison twice, not going again."
Right. Yeah.
Because you're such an activist. She's a rebel. She's an activist. Yes. But I'm glad you're not going back, because you don't need to be back in there anymore. Because yes, she shakes things up, this high tech mother of mine. So listen, how did you get training for all of this, CeCe?
Well, being a veteran, that's number one. Okay, so it's not like we're just out there and we just take a bunch of veterans and tell them, "Hey, we're going to go mountaineering." no, it's not like that. We do have guides. We do some training beforehand. It's a lot of on-the-job training, and they make sure that we're ready before we, take veterans out, because, we don't want to, we want to help them. We want to get better together. We don't want to just,
Yeah, just in case someone's watching and they're thinking, oh, no, I'm not doing that.
Right.
Want to make sure that they understand that there is training, there are professionals that are there to help you. This is not just throw you in the wilderness, throw you in a kayak in the middle of the ocean, and good luck. No, that it's supposed to be an experience that's fun and gets you out of your everyday thinking to shift your mindset, shift what you're doing, and teach you tools in a fun and supportive way.
Right. So, like, I'm also a peer specialist, which means I've been trained on how to talk to people and listen to their stories and see, like, maybe if they're being triggered about something. And then we also have psychologists on staff with us that if it's something that I think is more than what I can handle, then I definitely, bring, let the psychologist know and say, hey, we need help with this or that.
Fully supported on these journeys.
Right. We have social workers on staff, life coaches. Like I said, I'm a peer specialist and psychologist. So yeah.
Wonderful. Well, that is so much great information that we just got on that segment of how these trips and the agency, again, let me just tell you, it is the Extreme Government Solutions at your veterans. What is it?
Okay, the vet center. So
vet center, right?
It all starts with the vet center. If they go in, excuse me, if they go to their vet center and ask for help for counseling, one of the services that the vet centers offers are these free retreats. Now, I happen to be affiliated with Extreme Government Solutions, which is a provider of these free trips for the veterans. Right.
So ask for those retreats.
Right.
The retreats, and that's how you can get to go on one of these amazing adventures and learn very valuable coping skills. Right. So in our next segment, we're going to talk about what's next for CeCe, because like I said, she just gave us this little window that she could be with us tonight. So again, you're watching the Audacious Confidence show. This is about PTSD. It's about getting help for veterans, especially since the suicide rate is so astronomical. The statistic quoted was every 62 seconds.
65 minutes.
65 minutes. Why do I want to keep saying seconds? Every 65 minutes. That's still horrendous.
It's horrendous.
Yeah. A veteran commits suicide in this country. So this is an opportunity for them to get help if they are suffering from PTSD, if they have symptoms or they're being triggered by anything at their vet center, not the VA, the vet center.
Correct.
So CeCe, in our next segment, I'm your host, Alicia Couri. This is my guest, CeCe Espeut. And let's talk about your next journey, because you got to leave super early. Was it 5 a.m. in the morning?
4:30.
4:30 in the morning. And where are you headed off to, Miss CeCe?
So I'll be heading out to Santa Cruz, California. I'm going to do some whale watching.
Whale watching.
Oh, whale watching, And my question was, what does one wear when they go whale watching?
Of course.
What? I don't know.
My first question.
Right. I've never been whale watching before.
Listen, this is a show about confidence. We need to be confident when we're standing there watching whales.
Right, and looking good.
You got me looking good.
Right.
So what do we do? We're going whale watching. So you're going out on a boat?
I don't know. I'll know when I get there.
Kayaking? To see the whales.
Yeah. So
you're going
I don't know. That's part of the experience for us.
So you get there, you don't even know
I'll know before. I'll know tomorrow, and you know,
it's on a need to know basis.
How?
It's on a need to know basis.
And I don't need to know right now. I just need to know what to bring. So
what to wear, what to bring. Right. And do you after you do whale watching, there's something again that's extremely exciting that you're going to be doing.
Right. And so this is my favorite part. We will be doing ropes courses through the redwood trees. So to me, that's kind of like, I just figure I'm just going to yell, I'm going to scream, I'm going to swing from tree to tree.
That's like 200 feet in the air.
Let's hope not. Let's hope. Well, but we are tethered. We are tethered.
So, yeah, you will be tethered. I know that every safety precaution is
right. Every safety precaution.
Those trees are like huge.
Right.
They're so majestic and magnificent. Oh, I can't wait to see the photos.
Yes.
Are you on Instagram, Miss CeCe?
Yes, I am. So
are you posting all these pictures on?
I'm going to do better at it. I'm on Instagram as CeCe TEDx, and I will be posting pictures. So yes.
Yeah, so check it out. Sebastian wants to know, will you be taking canned tuna along for your whale watching?
Do I need tuna? I don't know. I guess I'll find out.
So how long is this trip going to be?
We leave tomorrow, Wednesday morning, and I'll be back Sunday night to South Florida. So nice. 4 days, 4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days. Nice. My really big question, because this is a show about audacious confidence, is when you first were contracted to come and do these photos and stuff and have these experiences, what was that like? Was there a lot of anxiety in doing this? Because this is something you've never done before. You're not a nature photographer. And so being asked to do this, was there what was that?
So I really was not nervous, because for me, photography is photography, and it's all about getting in there and connecting. So I really wasn't nervous about that. But then it's one of those cases is that I didn't know what I didn't know.
It's like, wait a second.
Had I known, I might have rethought a couple things. So
if someone doesn't want to do something at all, what happens?
Well, we have other things for them to do.
Okay.
So there was a very good friend of mine he's now a very good friend. I forget what state we were in, but we were climbing somebody else's slot canyons. I can't even think of what state we were in, but he didn't want to go all the way to the top. All right. It was a pretty strenuous hike. And so there was a part where he could have turned off and just made the loop and gone back down. Now we were talking and just, walking and talking. And when we came to the split, he was like, I'm just going to go with you to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, of course.
All right. I'm just going to go with you until I can't go any further. Next thing I know, we're like all the way at the top.
Wow.
Right. And so it's not that we tell anybody they have to do anything, but what I learned from that is that it's just one step at a time. Just do the next right.
And when you have support, when you have a buddy, it makes it
easier. Right. And so we actually made it to the top. And nice. It was a really amazing experience. So
okay, our time is wrapping up, but I have one more question. So if you had to go deep sea diving, would you do it?
Not until March 15th, because my eyes, I can't get them wet.
Yeah,
I would definitely try it. I would try it,
That's what I love about you. You're very adventurous, more than I am. And so with that, I wish you good luck. Have an awesome trip. And we'll look on your Instagram for those photos. I'm so excited for you. This is a dream come true for you. This is a bucket list thing for you. So I am so excited. CeCe Espeut, and thank you for being our guest tonight, for squeezing us in here on the Audacious Confidence show. And also, you will be back on Dramaniac again, because we're going to talk some more about PTSD and suicide, and how you're helping veterans overcome this epidemic. And so thank you so much. I love you, appreciate you, and have a safe trip back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, this has been an adventurous show with CeCe, and I am so thankful that you all joined us. If you know a veteran, if you know someone who can avail themselves of these services, please let them know about the veteran centers and the retreats that are available for them. If you've watched the show and you've gotten the information, please let them know about it. So with that said, this is Alicia Couri signing off on another episode of the Audacious Confidence Show. Hey, Alicia here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that episode of the Audacious Confidence Show, check out more of the episodes that we have right there. And don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you don't miss another episode of the Audacious Confidence Show.